she actually sent me a text message. And what she told me was that, hey son, I would like you to bring me to Japan to visit Fukusaki. So when she sent me that message, I actually didn't know what was Fukusaki. And I like to think that I'm quite an expert in Japan because I've been to the country in my whole life at least 10 times. So quick show of hands, how many of you know what Fukusaki is? See? Not a lot, right? So when she told me like she wanted to go to Fukusaki, I was thinking, what on earth is Fukusaki and how did you know about Fukusaki? So it turns out that she actually saw this clip on TikTok. So let me play the clip very quickly, but I won't play the full clip.
I'm in the scariest town in all of Japan. This is Fukusaki, a town filled with terrifying statues of yokai, or demons from Japanese folklore. This is because it's the birthplace of the legendary folklorist Yanagita. I want to be a folklorist. How do you even get that title? I started getting freaked out just by walking around, so it's time for food. This is mochi mugi soba, which is like regular soba, but it's better.
So I'm not going to play the full clip, right? But you can imagine, like, I don't know, how many of you want to go and visit Fukusaki after seeing this clip? I want to, right? Because who wouldn't want to go and visit an old Japanese town where you can see demons and folklore just hidden everywhere? So why I felt this story was very interesting was because I was thinking then that here there is a 63-year-old woman, my mom, scrolling TikTok and telling me that she wants to visit this place because of a video clip that she saw. It really puts things in perspective, right? Because if you look 20 years ago, this is what travel looked like. And I myself, when I graduated from university, I bought a Lonely Planet guidebook and I was backpacking Europe, just flipping that book, looking at the maps and whatnot. So, you know, I'm sure some people in this room have experienced that. And then if you look...
I don't think they know what's Lonely Planet.
Oh yeah, different generations. And if you look 10 years ago, right, 10, 15 years ago, that was where everyone started going online onto Google, right? People started searching for things to do. I'm personally one of those who used to search for blog search at Google, right, to read people's blogs. But today, more than ever, the world is what we call mobile and social first. People are connected. People are sending videos, people are consuming videos, and that's what is propelling this next generation or this next wave of travel. I'm going to spend the next few slides just going through a few insights from our annual Travel Pulse survey. And some of these you have seen from both Ethan and Sam and Wilfred's presentation, but I thought it's important to really set some context. First of all, travel is all about sharing and glamming. So this picture that you see here, this is my own Instagram channel, and unlike many of you in the room, I only have 519 followers. Yeah, but what is interesting is the fact that if you look at all my highlights, if you look at all my posts, it's essentially all my travel content. And I'm sure many of your followers, we're all the same. We are all about sharing, glamming when it comes to travel. And the thing is, watch times, human attention span is shortening. You know, 20 years ago, the average human attention span was 150 seconds. Today, or rather 2023, it's about 47 seconds. But if you look at how people have been surfing TikTok, Instagram, you can't even get past the first 5 seconds, right? Once you don't catch people's attention, they scroll and you lose them. So watch times are essentially shortening. But the thing about social media is that it is everywhere and anywhere. According to our survey, the top 2 most popular platforms are essentially Instagram and YouTube. And this is Asia Pacific, right? It's not zooming in on specific countries or regions, followed by Facebook. And up and coming, fast growing, is TikTok. And what's interesting is the fact that many travelers, many consumers, they are not just on one platform. They are on one, if not all the platforms. And they have very high expectations. And I'm sure you guys know that because you guys are the content creators. But the thing about people, the thing about travelers these days is they crave authenticity. And I think some of you see yourself in this clip here, right? 62% of people, they prefer non-celebrity recommendations. And they really trust it. Because when we look at the data, they are viewing, they are consuming, and they are booking. And that essentially leads to trust. So, over 80%, yeah, amazing, right? Over 80% of people have made travel bookings based on recommendations from content creators like you guys. Big round of applause! Honestly, truly amazing, but this is only just the beginning. So, travelers are essentially, as Ethan, Wilfred, Sam have all mentioned, they are thinking experiences first. So you guys have seen this morning. 3 out of 5 people are willing to spend half, sometimes more, of their budget on experiences. But why this is very powerful is because the funnel is starting to reverse. So I'm sure many of you have heard this traditional travel funnel before. I think about where I want to fly to first, where I want to stay, and then finally things to do. But today, it's being flipped around. So people are starting to think, what do I want to do? And then, how do I go there? And then, where do I stay based on the things that I want to do? So this reverse funnel is something that we are all, everybody in the room, we're all riding this trend. And today, I'm proud to say that on Klook, we have over 500,000 bookable experiences in over 2,700 destinations. The likes of Hong Kong Disneyland, Universal Studios, Team Lab, Gardens by the Bay, millions of travelers, millions of content creators, they all know Klook to be the platform to book, to discover these experiences. And I'm incredibly proud to say that, today Klook, we are the, if not one of the most leading travel experiences platform in the world. Thank you. And we can't do this all by ourselves, and the reason why we've managed to grow so quickly, besides embracing technology, is by being very much on trend and understanding what consumers want. So if you look at our stats, I think we often say that at Klook, we cater to what we call the next gen traveler. Over 70% of our bookings, over 70% of our users, they are actually Gen Zs and millennials. And more than 80% of our bookings actually coming on mobile. So I'm sure many of you have downloaded our mobile app before. It's incredible, the experience. You heard from Sam earlier, but this is what consumers love from us. And at Klook, just like you guys, content creators, we love creating great content. Every month, we create and we reach easily over 60 million travelers globally across 15 markets and 14 platforms. And we're not going to stop because this is just only the beginning. But why do we believe so much in content? Why do we target the next gen travelers? It's because at the heart of it all, and this is a word that is very, very close to my heart, it's about community, right? Community has always been at the heart of what we do, and that's why 2 years ago, we decided to really formalize and create this creator program. So many of you have seen things like community trips, you have seen workshops, creator parties. We are not going to stop. We're going to continue doing that, and we're going to create the world's largest travel community. Big round of applause, guys. And when I look back, right, and I ask myself, right, how far we've come in less than 24 months, in less than 2 years. Today, we have over 20,000 Klook creators that have signed up to the program. We are present across 16 countries, and this is real. Creators can earn up to $12,000 US a month. And we have, in our midst, actually, creators that have earned this, right, in this very room here. And collectively, we have racked up more than 1.8 billion views of the content together. But we're really only just getting started. And I always tell people that, to me, this program is like no other program, right? We have put in a lot of effort doing things like creator trips, but ultimately, we put people at the heart of it all, right? You guys, our travelers, our partners, our merchants, essentially we are all just learning and growing together, and that's what makes this program so successful and so amazing. So I just want to really give a big thanks, right, to all our partners, because the kind of collaborations that we do actually take us further. So this was an example of something that we did recently with Insta360, which is basically a camera brand, where we gave out free Insta360 cameras to content creators on a fam trip. And we will continue to do more of this, right? So give us your support, look forward to more fam trips. Yet, after everything that I've just said, this is only the beginning of what I say is something incredible. Because, and you guys are hearing this for the first time in this room, as a club creator, you can soon look forward to new monetization features. So many of you have asked us for this. So things like club creator shops, which we will experiment with, we will deploy on our platform. This will allow not just your followers and your users, but even our users to be able to consume your content and to read your recommendation. Innovative partnerships. This is already live. So TikTok local services, today in 7 markets, if you scroll TikTok and you surf and you see that there's a piece of content about Universal Studios being created, you can see that it's actually bookable on Club. And this is actually something that we will roll out to more markets and more creators soon. New management tools. So as creators, you can look forward to more personalized dashboards, being able to see how well your content is doing, your commission tracking, communicating with us, our merchant partners, but more importantly, sponsorships. So every time you guys are going on a trip, imagine if you can do this a lot more seamlessly through one coordinated platform. And last but not least, it's an overall greater emphasis on this keyword, which is community. So you can look forward to more creator trips, more learning labs, and even gathering together, right, across markets, across cultures. At the end of the day, this program is only possible because of great people like you guys, all in the audience. You guys create amazing content, and that's what really creates this global community. It's very simple. It's not rocket science, and we continue to work hard. We continue to try our best in doing this every single day. And from me, and on behalf of my entire club team, I like to say that we can't wait for you to continue creating, to continue connecting, and ultimately discover the best you with Klook. And this is my last slide. I want to bring us back to our mission at Klook. Our mission, and this has never changed since day one, and I think Ethan has mentioned it a few times as well, is to bring the world closer through experiences. And we can't do this without the likes of you guys, our partners. Together, we are on a remarkable journey, and the future is bright, it's amazing, and I hope you guys are excited for 2025 and beyond. Thank you. Alright, so you guys have heard a lot from me. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you hear, not from me, but from fellow creators. So while the team is getting set up, let me just do a quick introduction. So I will be inviting 3 fellow creators up on stage. So we have Jax from the Philippines. We have Andrew Levins from Australia. And last but not least, we have the lovely Gwen from Indonesia. Okay, so this is the moment where we're gonna really get up close and personal. We're gonna try and not just ask them about the good stuff, but even some of the not so glamorous stuff, right? Really get behind the scenes with these creators. So let me just do a quick, proper introduction of the panelists on stage first. So on my left first, we have Jax from Manila, Philippines. So in case you guys didn't know, Jax is one of our OG creators that has continued to grow and break his own records. He focuses a lot on things like personal finance, tips, travel contents, and he's very well known for his analysis on things like credit card points, money saving hacks, and travel tips. When I was looking at some of your content, one of your more popular videos is teaching viewers how to pack and what to look out for when they carry hand carry stuff on board the plane.
Yes. That's like,
Yeah, and in fact, I had the privilege of moderating a smaller panel last year where Jax actually joined us, but his growth in the last 12 months has been equally impressive. So, welcome Jax.
thank you.
And then next we have Levins. So Levins started making videos about his toy collection in 2022, especially toys from Japan. So his travel videos, especially the ones in Japan, have been very popular. I cannot get the clip of you singing karaoke in an Osaka bar out of my mind. And
Let's recreate it tonight.
let's do that. And his videos have received, across all platforms, more than 200 million views. What about that? Okay? And last but not least, we have the lovely Gwen from Jakarta, Indonesia. So Gwen is a bit different because she's more of a family content creator. She shares a lot about authentic and valuable stories about her journey in building, growing her family, relationship talks. Her content tends to be very warm, heartwarming, and the one post that really stuck with me was the one where you did the behind the scenes POV of traveling with your partner in Japan. And I also like the one about you guys running to join the line in Disney Sea.
Yeah. Running.
Yeah. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, the first part is really about the journey to influence, becoming from zero to hero. So, let's start with Levins. What motivated you to say yes to joining the creator program?
It was simple. They offered to pay for pretty much an entire holiday. It's that easy. So I was making toy videos, and someone from Kluk reached out to me and said, "We love all your content about Japan. If you're ever thinking about going to Japan, get in touch." And I said, funnily enough, we're actually going this April. This is April last year. And they said, "What have you booked?" So I said, "Just the flights and hotels at this point." And they were like, "Cool, let me know every experience you want to know in Japan. And if Kluk can cover it, we will. And in return, just make some videos." And so I did. And from that trip alone, it was 3 weeks. I would have made between 30 and 50 videos of that trip. And yeah,
Amazing.
became a Japan travel guy. I know, I feel like people in Australia especially, like I would say they watch more clips on TikTok of people going to Japan than they do like Netflix.
Wow, Japan is the new Netflix for Australians, huh? But have you participated in other creator programs before Kluk?
No, I don't think so, no.
Alright, so you know, your growth has been phenomenal. And what about you then, Jax, right? Because you are one of the OG stars in this program. How long have you been a Kluk creator, and has your experience always been the same?
Okay, I think I started like last year as well when I got the invite, very similar to Levin's. For me, it's very similar. I said yes to the program. It was really because I believe in Kluk. And when Kluk launched back then, way back in the days, I was already using the program. So it was not hard for me to, let's say, push the product because I believe in the product. I use the product. So when I talk about it, I know how it is. It's like at the back of my mind. The journey was pretty much the same. And what's lovely about having or being part of the creator program is really Kluk supports their creators in ways that, you know, a lot of maybe I don't have experience of other programs and I can't say the same. But what is different there is Kluk will find ways to help you create the experiences that you want. And they will not push an experience that does not fit your lifestyle or that is not you. For example, I do love creating and staying in hotels. Then I always ask, can I stay in this hotel? As long as they can, they'll help you do it. But they will never force an experience that might not suit you. So along the journey, Kluk is there to support you. They're always a partner instead of somebody dictating, no, this is what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
So it's authentically you also.
And that's why 80% of people trust the content that these guys and you guys are creating because, you know, it is real, it's genuine, right? So thank you very much for that. And what about you, Gwen, right? As a content creator, what kind of support do you find the most valuable coming from a brand that you work with?
I think I agree with Jax. What he says is that I feel like I can talk with Kluk as a more than just a Kluk, just all brands, yeah, are people who are willing to listen of what we are willing to offer as a content creator, more than just giving us brief, but they don't want to understand what we actually want to deliver, because we actually want to deliver the best. I believe as every content creator here, we all try to understand our market, our niche. So we're trying to actually deliver and incorporate it. So I'm very grateful if a brand could actually also listen and be a friend of discussion rather than we point out a thing and I just want this way, because somehow I feel like I cannot give my best as well for that kind of brand. So maybe the collaboration may not work long, but for actually Kluk, I feel like they want to listen and they really think about the creator itself. So I think like bringing us here, everything is an action of Kluk wanna make the community more alive than ever. Yeah.
Thank you. So the last question for this segment, I'm going to ask it to all three of you. So, and you know, give your real response, right? Because I think they've never seen this before. So on a scale of 1 to 10, okay? 10 is the best, 1 is obviously the worst. How well do you guys feel, and we will start from Gwen, Blevins and Jax, right? How well do you feel Kluk is supporting you as a content creator, and what is one thing you would like to see improved?
Okay, 7, 8. Maybe more into the number of commission.
What?
And then, or maybe we can explore more into like entering links, and then if they want to check out anything and they use other codes, more codes, maybe we can get more. And on top of that, maybe we can work more together on flights booking as well to cover the travel, so it can be like a whole experience we can share from the beginning up to the end, like everything we can check out from Kluk.
Alright, Kluk team, write down those notes. Okay, what about you, Levins? Scale 1 to 10, and what is one thing you want to do?
I'll be very generous. Kluk ANZ are an amazing team to work with. They're getting a 9.5 from me.
Wow.
They've been really supportive and they reached out to begin with, and whenever I go on a holiday, it's never what can I do for them, it's what can they cover for me, because they know that the content I make is going to be genuine and will work. You know, they don't want to tell me how to make videos, and I really appreciate that. Brands that I do work with are like, they want final say over what I put in my videos, and they don't care. They just, you know, do what you do and it'll work out for both of us. What I would love to see, I don't know if it's an improvement, but it's so cool seeing everyone from all around the world together. It would be great to know that we'll be, that, you know, if I'm ever going to Korea, I could talk to the Kluk Korea team about potentially doing something with them while I'm there, instead of just doing stuff for the Australian market, because our followers aren't only based in our home country, they're all over the world. So it would be amazing to have access to these teams from around the world to work with, as well as our local teams.
Travel does bring the world closer, right? Especially through experiences. And Jax, what about you?
For me, I definitely believe it's still, I love the Philippines team. Kluk Philippine team has always been the best. And okay, definitely I'm a promoter. I only talk about brands that I believe in, so it's a 9. So net promoter score is still a 9. 9 because I believe there's always that room for improvement. So at least you guys are also, like, Kluk will always be on the edge of their seat to create more innovative content and experiences. And what I really want to see more of, you know, it's really the end-to-end, like what Gwen said, the end-to-end booking all in the app.
Okay.
Or where you can have your itinerary all in the app. So, you know, our customers, our viewers does not have to go out of the app. From their flight bookings up until their hotels, everything is through the app, and we can push it easier. And when we give our recommendations, these are the itinerary, they can already choose what they want and then check it out all at the same time. It's easier for the customer and also easier in the sense that, you know, here you can go to Japan and follow our 4-day, 3-night itinerary.
Alright, very, very valid feedback. Thank you, guys. So now I want to go on to the next segment, which is more about crafting a personal brand. Because as you guys know, it's very hard to stand out, right, in the entire social media space. And I'm sure people have often felt that some content creators feel the same, but some are very unique. So I like to start off first with Jax, right? So how did you discover your unique voice or your online personality? Was it intentional, or did it evolve over time?
Okay, mine was not intentional and it did not evolve. So if you're just going to see my content during the pandemic, I think what changed is I bought more black shirts. So at least back then in the pandemic, I was wearing my tattered white shirt for sleeping. Now at least I'm in Uniqlo. I said the brand. At least I have budget to get better black shirts. Okay. But the voice that I had ever since I started creating content was the same. It was because I wanted to always be me. Yep, my own voice, how I talk. Now I'm just speaking in English, but in my content it will be a mix of Tagalog and English. Because I always wanted it the simplest way that I can portray value to my followers. How do I make it very understandable? I always want it in the simplest form. So whenever I create content, it's always thinking that how can I push, let's say, a travel content, or maybe as simple as what you said earlier, Marcus, like, what can you check in and what you cannot check in? How do I make it super simple? You know, I use words, people might not understand it, but if I show them that you can't bring this, you can bring this, then it will be more understandable. So my voice is still how I am now. Even when I go out and people will talk to me, it's the same way, it's the same voice. So when they're watching me, it's always like, oh, I know you already. So when they meet me in the street and they say hi, this is how I talk to them, the same way. It's just, I'm in English now, guys. But I will always be in my vernacular language back at home.
Yeah. Well, amazing. I mean, they say that, you know, a picture paints 1,000 words, a video paints 1,000,000 words, but when you add a video with a personality, I think it paints 1,000,000,000 words, and that's why people constantly consume so much content on social media. So I'm going to turn my attention now to Gwen first. So when a brand approaches you, what is the first thing that catches your attention? Is it the product, the brief, is it the compensation? What is it? What do you look out for first?
I think it's more like the product, if it fits me or not. Because if it doesn't fit, I think we cannot talk a lot of about compensation, because I don't, for some things I don't take it because it doesn't just align with what things that I deliver and value. And then the compensation, and the last one is?
Oh, the last one would be...
The brief.
The brief, yeah.
Because I think that the brief can actually adjust it when you feel like the product actually relates to you. So yeah.
Have you ever had an example where a brand approached you but it was completely like product misfit? Can you share a bit about that?
Product misfit. I think not entirely, because like I already rejected it before I accepted it, but more into like, for example, like crafting into like, last time I was invited for the panelist in Indonesia, right? So I need to promote about the KULUK program of creator, but then how can I deliver it through my original content, which is about the family things. So how I enter is still about I share about the journey of not directly having kids yet after marriage, but with the stigma in Indonesia, if you postpone, you may not have any kid anymore later on. So I bring that kind of hook in the beginning, but then I share the journey is that because of that, I did not live that kind of statement. Me and my husband, we decided to actually have a kid later, 1 year after we get married. Because of that, we get a chance to actually fly to Japan and experience all the things with KULUK. And by that, it makes me to today. It brings me up to today on that kind of panelist that I can be invited and share about how to actually create content that is original and also bring benefits for both sides. So yeah, it's how I redirect from my niche towards the purpose of the brand.
Amazing, but still staying very true to what your followers know you for. And finally for Levins, right? Obviously, not every brand targets the same kind of audiences that loves like toys, anime culture, which you are very known for. So how do you balance staying true to your niche, right, while working with brands that might have commercial needs that maybe are different from what you believe in?
I find like, I work with a lot of different brands, and sometimes they're not a perfect fit, but if I know that someone's gonna be pushing, like maybe my audience aren't too interested in that, I make sure I have like 2 like pure Levins videos that are like going up on the same day or the day before or after, where it's that pure, unadulterated, ADHD father content that everyone comes to my channel for, and then it just distracts from the brand stuff. Maybe that's not a good thing for the brand, but it's a good thing for my channel.
Yeah, it's a good tip. Okay, so let's go into how we level up content creation, because honestly, like, I'm sure you guys feel the same, right? It's not easy creating great content all the time. With every hit, there's probably more misses behind, right? So this next question is for all three of you, right? And we can start with Jax first and kind of go down the line. So in 5 words or less, right? So let's keep it short. How would you describe your content calendar?
Uniquely flexible. It sounded wrong, but it's alright in many ways because it's uniquely flexible because you don't know what is needed in that specific time. And usually you need to write on what is relevant in that specific day. And you will have to be ready to create that content and put it up right away. That's
Literally real time, right?
real time.
Yeah.
And that's why it's unique as well. Because
Okay, uniquely flexible. What about you, Levin?
Chaotic, expensive, messy.
Very different. Please explain.
I feel like in my head, like I have hundreds of lists on my phone of like, these are the videos you have to make with the thousands of boxes of toys in your room that one day you said you will make a video about, and then things just get bumped lower and lower and lower as the new shiny thing gets delivered to my house and I decide to make a video about that instead. I find I have a plan, but it's really, really important that you give up on that plan the moment you wake up.
Okay. And finally, for Gwen, what about you? How would you describe your content calendar?
Can I mix both?
Sure.
I choose the word, it's complicated, uniquely flexible. So because I feel like it's the same. It goes like, I feel like, because I really want to give the best out of every content, so I really think about like the hook and everything. But sometimes it took such a long time, so sometimes I just need to adjust and over things, and at the same time, then comes another trend. And I feel like I can tap in it right now. So right away, gonna make the script and edit it and everything. So it's kind of mix of everything. So yeah, to be honest, if talking about calendars, I think for me personally, I think I need to make it more better.
All right. And so this next question is also for all three of you, right? So basically, I think we all know that video content is booming, right? Everybody consumes videos, and I think even at Kluk, we've been investing a lot, not just about creating our own videos, but about working with content creators like you guys, right, to be able to do more videos. But what is the most difficult part, and I'll start with Levin's first, in nailing a good video?
So this is like, because I try and do so many different videos throughout each week, like sometimes I'll do a toy video, sometimes I'll do a travel video, and then the travel videos will be catering to different niches that follow me. Maybe you follow me just for the anime stuff, the theme park stuff, or maybe you follow me because I travel with my kids and I make videos about what it's like to travel with a family sometimes too. And I can nail all of those briefs, but it just depends. Maybe sometimes I might accidentally lean too far into one of them and alienate the 2 other groups that don't follow me for that particular thing. So it's difficult balancing all the reasons that you might follow my account for. And when I do nail it, I'm like, yeah, totally, I can do that exactly again. And then I think I do something that's really, really similar, that has the same beats and like is as engaging and informative, and then I'll just bomb, and I have no idea why. But that's what we're gonna ask the TikTok guy later, aren't we, guys?
All right, and what about you, Gwen?
I think because I do most are storytellings, and sometimes it's not hard selling enough. So I think it's more into like creating the hook in the beginning. It really takes my time so much because I analyze from like a lot of videos that is actually viral. I search from other creators, and then I rethink again about my own niche, and I think again on how the hook and what is the visuals and what is the words for everything that in the beginning I should put, because it will really impact on the performance for the latter one.
So there's a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
Thinking about the hook and whatnot.
Yeah.
And Jax, what about you? What is the most difficult part about nailing a good video in your opinion?
For me, it's keeping in mind the 2 things that I always create when I create my content. It's always your unique voice, that's one, uniquely you. And then the second one is also the value that you want to impart. So it's always these 2 things that you have to remember whenever you create the content. Because if you don't have these 2, or the mix of these 2, your followers will definitely know that, okay, this is not you. It sounds wrong in a sense. And when you lose both of those things, definitely your video, in that sense, will not perform as well.
Mm.
Because it's already not like maybe a Jack's JUGA band. They say that's why.
I see. So, Levins, if there's one tip, right, or one must do that you give to all content creators out there in order to create a viral video, what would that be?
I don't think anyone actually knows how to make a viral video, right? I mean, unless Gwen, do you know? No. Tell us. No, I guess don't try and do the videos that you've seen go viral and just copy what they've done. That's like my advice is not what to do, it's what not to do. Because I feel like so many creators go to Japan and go, cool, I'm just gonna recreate the 10 videos that inspired me to go here in the first place. And yeah, like you might get some views off it, but you're not sharing your unique voice. That's not what is going to get people to come back again and again and again. So I just be as true to yourself, like find that one thing that only you can offer, people watching your videos and really make something that's true to you that you would want to watch, and that's in your own voice.
I think that's a great perspective. I mean, it's not about what to do, but what not to do as well, right? And I see both Gwen and Jax nodding your heads, right? Do you guys agree, disagree, anything to add about this, how to create a good viral video?
I think agree with what Nevin said. It's really like just create something new. But for me, it's also on the other hand, just to add to what Nevin said, it's also just create that content. A lot of times we have our self-doubt where we don't want to post this video because we're afraid that it's not yet perfect. But you'll never know when it's perfect. You'll never have that. You'll never lose your self-doubt. So just post that content. If I did not post my first content online, I would not be here. I would still be in the office creating an event like this for my CEO back then. And I'll be in China right now, making sure at the back that what food do they have for dinner.
So just, why did you create that first piece of content? What was the trigger for it?
The trigger was really because I wanted to create, back then what I said, the value I want for people. To make sure that they use or they appreciate the value of credit cards. That's why I created that first.
Okay. And this is an open question to all three of you. Anyone can answer this. Have you ever created a video that didn't perform as well? Tell us what the video was and what did you learn from that experience?
So yeah, all my Japan content did really well, and I thought I'm gonna go to Thailand and I'm gonna make like tons of videos about Thailand now. And the engagement was not immediate. And some of my, especially some of the drier, very informative videos, I think people were just like, well, it doesn't have like the Japan sheen that people go to TikTok for. But the videos that I made that were way more true to like what my regular content was, just happened to be in Thailand, they did fine, but the ones that were super informative about this new location didn't do as well.
Okay. Gwen, you want to add anything?
I think for me, it's first I actually create a content about Amanohashi Date and Inafunaya. It's a place where it's like non-touristy spot in Kyoto. It was really nice, the performance, but then because I have another questions following up on the comment, I tried to reply it and I tried to actually create another content out of it. But somehow I feel because I directly just replied towards it, and sometimes like for example in TikTok they just push it right away without, maybe the followers does not watch your content previously. So I think I missed the part of giving the context in the beginning, so they don't feel like relatable watching my videos, even though the 4 videos is actually have a good performance. So I think something like giving the context out of it is important.
I just remembered my worst performing Japan video is actually about another ghost yokai town in Japan. Can you send it to your mum so I can get some
Send it to me later.
Let me think. I think if not performing content, it was because it was a messy flow. I think that's sometimes that I overthink or I overdid it in a sense that I really wanted it to make sure that it's always perfect. It's the self-doubt always. Like a lot of people here, a lot of creators here was like nodding, a lot of videos did not perform. I think it's the nature of our life. And sometimes you always think that, oh my god, our video didn't perform. But we always, even if it did not perform, I think one thing that I always want to keep in mind and tell everyone here as well is that when we look at the numbers, even if it's like 1,000 people who was watching that video, imagine 1,000 people, that's 10 times the size of this room already. So that's like, you know, giving yourself credit that there's 10 times the room, 10 times the size of this room that watch that content.
Quality over quantity as well.
Quality over quantity as well, yes.
Alright, okay, so I'm going to just end off with a very last question for all three of them. And it's a question that I actually have not asked you guys before, so it's going to be quite impromptu. Let's look ahead to the future, right? Because, you know, some people think that the future can be scary. They think about AI, you know, how we're not going to be authentic anymore. Some people think about how it's very hard to get people's attention because just now I shared that the attention span today was like less than 1 minute. What if 10 years later the attention span is only like 2 seconds? It can be chaotic, it can be scary. So in terms of looking to the future and as content creators, right, what is one tip, advice, or anything that you have to say to the audience?
I think I can start, okay. I think it's still the two things that I always said. Do not lose sight of who you are,
Okay.
because your voice will always be unique. And then the other thing is always the value that you want to create in the content that you're pushing out. Bar everything else, if you have these two, I think your career, I believe that content creation is a career, yes, will be a lengthy one. Because your followers will always see you as you, rather than as somebody who is fake online.
And they always need to know what credit card points to use.
Correct.
Alright, very well said. Gwen or Levin, anybody's ready?
Okay, the original, and don't see don't see like the progress of our technology as something that can actually take something from us, but rather than it, we see how it can actually be incorporated and help us in a way to create a better contents and everything. So we actually bring it together and make it a better out of it, rather than seeing them as a competitor. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very well put.
I haven't got my point pointed.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't lock yourself into the idea that I only make this type of content. I only go to this place. I only talk about these things. I don't know, I feel like you should challenge yourself to try something completely new that you've never made a video about before, or in a style that you've never made a video about before, like at least once a month. And just to see if that new thing works, and maybe that's what is going to make you more excited to make even more videos in the future.
Amazing. So, you know, one thing that I took away basically as I conclude, right, is the fact that none of you basically found the future scary. I think everybody, it's all about being innovative, embracing uncertainty, keeping an open mind, and ultimately pushing boundaries but staying true to yourself, right? And I think if you look at even just like the Club Creator Program, these are the very qualities that we also bring to the table in terms of working with creators. So, a big round of applause to the three panelists. I hope you guys have learned a lot and gained a lot from them. There will be a lot more opportunities to interact with them. But for the next segment, I think you've heard a lot from Kluk. You've heard a lot, or a little bit from our creators. The next two segments will actually be from our partners from both TikTok and Meta. So, Maggie, I'll pass the time back to you.
Thank you
everyone.
so much, Marcus, Jax, Levins, and Gwyneth, and really, thank you for sharing all of that. And I think a lot of you guys here, most of us here are Club creators, and you were part of the growth, you know? Like, when we started, literally, it was just the idea we were trying out. We only had a couple of creators then. It was so hard to get creators to be part of it. I remember I reached out to Jax. He didn't reply to me until maybe like 2 months, because he said he doesn't understand, like, what do you want me to do? So, you know, it just snowballed from there, and now we are such a big family. And like what they said, we're over 20,000 Club creators now, and you guys are lucky to be here with us, and I hope you guys help us spread the word as well. If you have other creator friends who'd like to create that value, who'd like to also share their experiences to the world, invite them, you know? And on top of all of that, another thing I love about the Club Creator Program, more than the commissions, the sponsored trips, and everything, all the perks that you get from being a Club Creator, it's really the community that you build. Do you agree? Yes, right? And I know a lot of you guys have also built these groups, travel groups, because, we're all like-minded people. So, once again, thank you, Marcus, Jax, Levens, and Gwyneth, for sharing all of that with us. And as they've mentioned, who among you here are TikTok users? Raise of hands. There we go. So right now, our next segment will actually help us understand how to grow and to win in the platform. And this is something I'm really looking forward to. Join me in welcoming Izan Zhang, Head of Travel Strategic Partnership of TikTok Southeast Asia. He spearheads initiatives aimed at enhancing collaboration with key OTAs and airline partners in the region. He has over 3.5 years at TikTok already. Izan has successfully built and led strategic account teams for travel post-pandemic, focusing on partnerships with key travel partners like Klook, of course, and his effort has driven innovative performance product solutions for TikTok globally and shaped effective digital strategies that empower travel partners to leverage TikTok's dynamic platform. So now, once again, join me in welcoming Izan Zhang.
Hello, good afternoon everyone. Thanks so much. I really like the energy here. But before that, I really want to say, Jax, where are you? I just want to tell you that I'm really envy and jealous of you guys' life to living as a travel creator, because just now the life you have described, working late at night on the presentation, heading back to the office after this event, is unfortunately my life. So yes, I know you guys all want to know about TikTok. It always has been buzzing. Everyone wants to know about the algorithm. So today, I really want to crack into this and try to help you to decode this. Because you know what? In the past, my dream actually wanted to be a travel blogger when I was in school. I've tried it. It didn't really work out. So I have to find a job in a corporate. But today, I'm standing here trying to help you to get travel bloggers up there. It's really something that, in a way, I'm continuing my dream to become a travel blogger. So please, give a pat to your shoulder and cheer to yourself that it's a challenging yet rewarding, uncertain but glamorous job. So cheers to yourself. Okay, so just now we already have a quick intro about myself, but now I want to take you a little bit further back, my flight path in terms of my back experiences, so you can know what I have been through come to today. I actually started my career in Skyscanner 10 years ago, and that's the travel company. I can't become a travel creator, so I joined the Meta Search. That was a little story. Actually 10 years ago, I actually met Ethan at the travel event. I'm not sure, Ethan, if you remember. Our booth is actually next to each other. And he was telling me about Klook's vision, how things are working on there, and he told me that you shouldn't use APIs to connect to partners. It's too slow. So look at where Klook now. I guess he's right. Probably onboarding to partner directly is a faster way to working on that. So come to next, I have spent 5 years there, tried different jobs for three different roles, and I moved on to Google, doing something similar, looking after the key clients for travel. But it's when the pandemic hits, life take a turn for me. For some reason, life brought me to e-commerce, and that's the time that e-commerce was thriving in the region. So I spent 2 years there, really interesting and exciting place to be. However, I still feel like I left a piece of my heart in travel. And when pandemic over, travel is bouncing back, I put up my hands and I start to build the travel team for SEA, for TikTok. And that's where we are at. And we're happy to know that actually TikTok is really transforming and reshaping the people how to travel, how to discover travel. So next, I probably don't think I need to spend time to introduce about TikTok. I think Marcus just now also shared a little bit about formula in terms of how TikTok is like changing things. But a lot of times people have a question is, what is behind TikTok's explosive growth globally? You look at the stats, it comes from nowhere in the past 3 to 5 years become the disruptor in the digital space. One of the most mentioned reason is actually the TikTok algorithm. So today, what I'm going to do is I will split this into 3 parts, share with you and decode the algorithm. And second, after we know the rules, how are we going to apply these to the content creation? So help you to get your videos to more viral on TikTok. And the last is, how are we going to make sure this great content continue to fuel your passion, to get rewarded for the content you have been created? So let's get started. I guess there's no one else is better than our company CEO show to explain what the recommendation algorithm is.
Recommendation algorithm is really just math. So for example, if you like the videos 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I like videos 1, 2, 3, and 5, maybe he liked videos 1, 2, 3, and 6, then what's going to happen is, because we like 1, 2, 3 at the same time, he's going to be shown 4, 5, 6, and so are we.
So as you can see, these things may be a little bit mathematical, but if you think in a layman terms is, whenever we are interacting with TikTok, whatever you have done with the apps, like, comment, or even skip it, it's also showing your interest. And for this, we call the interest signals. With these signals, these will empower our system to do the pattern recognition. We recognize what you like, what you don't like, what interests you, and we have a prediction to guess the probability. And imagine if we empower this with machine learning, it actually can enlarge this in a large scale in terms of millions or billions of users every day. And that's why how we can do a personalized content to you at scale, and people see TikTok as a discovery engine. But I want to even share you with a little bit more insight things. I'm not going to give you a math lecturer here, but I'm going to share with you why people always say why TikTok is so addictive. The content is so good that I didn't even know I like it. But if you look at here, there are two models behind the algorithm. How we predict the score of this video, which is the quality of the content, how we use this content to find the users through collaborative filtering. And basically, this is how things working from the behind the scenes. By the way, this formula is not the actual formula, otherwise I may lose my job. But the application is something that you will be interesting to know, which is what the algorithm wants to promote, engagement and retention. We want people to engage with the content they are looking at, and we also want to encourage meaningful and authentic interactions, especially like, comment, playtime, and share. And lastly, there is a secret percentage, which I also cannot share, I wish I can, but the system always remains such a percentage for new contents for you to discover, to look like. So you wouldn't see a lot of repeated contents on TikTok, and this is also one of the factors that TikTok is very different from the rest. And looking until today, many platforms are doing things very similar to TikTok, what we're doing. But we still have our secret recipes. Just like Coca-Cola, they have their secret recipes. We still keep them. We have 3 of them I'm going to share with you as well. The first one, the content graph. I believe in 10 years ago, when the social network is in the rage, everyone was very familiar with the left, which is the social graph. It's based on the people you are connected to, the people you follow, and we recommend the contents to you, the news feed, the updates for you to stay up to date of what's happening with the people you follow. But the second one is, TikTok really disrupted the space with content graph. What it means is, we'll suggest things based on what you like, what you're interested, and predict things that you would like. And this is really good for high potential viral. That's why a lot of videos, if you have talent, you showcase your talent, and have a lot of creativity, it will be picked up by the TikTok algorithm, and it will went viral. And the second one is, TikTok is speaking a very different language with other platforms. We look at authenticity and flawsome. We encourage you to be the imperfectly you, and to try to create content that is humanized and also relatable to the audience. So for those who have done brand content before, you probably know that it's hard to sell the message, promote the product and company, meanwhile remain native and organic. So I have 2 examples to share with you. The first one is Emirates video. So let me roll the clip.
Hi, I'm Captain David. I'm flying Emirates' first flight to Montreal, and I'm taking you with me. While it might be a brand new destination for Emirates, Montreal is the city I grew up in, so tonight's flight feels a bit like a homecoming. After arriving at Emirates headquarters, I head straight to the briefing room where I'll meet the rest of the crew.
Gentlemen. So I'm not going to finish the whole one. If you're interested, you can look it up. But what I want to say is, they are using a very creative and a very relatable way of explaining the life of a captain, which in the past we always feel very distant. We wouldn't know what the captain, the pilots are doing. But by filming these the day-to-day, a POV kind of video, you really explain and get people interested. And guess this is organic video. It's getting millions and views and thousands of likes on TikTok. And another one, our rowing, well, I'm explaining to you. Who is at the F1 weekend? Who was there? Okay, I hope some of you were there, or at least you watch it on TikTok, in a way. This is actually one of the most viewed and liked video. It's not by the official F1 or any teams, but actually it's just by a hardcore fan who is following, waiting there at 5 hours to meet George Russell. And he actually is so hardcore, he managed to meet George Russell 3 times in a day until George Russell recognized him when he met him the 3rd time. And he went to the pit lane, take a photo of him, and George Russell realized, oh, this is the guy that he liked, and he even get featured on Straits Times. So, before that, nobody know who he is, but just because of one day, overnight, he had a great piece of content, he got picked up by the algorithm, he got 3 million views, and he became an instant star. And this is the magic and the secret sauce of TikTok. And the last piece of what we want to talk about is TikTok's mission and vision, because this is the North Star. Let's say if content graph is our strategy, being authentic is our language, TikTok's mission and vision is our North Star. Because when we have thousands of engineers and teams are working on our system algorithm, we need a guiding star. Where should we promote? In the past 30 years ago, there are great successful platforms. Their missions to gather information for people to be accessible. 20 years ago, when in the social platform, people want to get connected, that's their mission. But on TikTok, our mission is to inspire creativity and bring joy. If you break this down, creativity is rewarded and celebrated on our platform, and joy is something we're looking for, we want to achieve. And this joy can be very broad terms. It can be laughter at the moment, it can be meaningful learnings, and anything transformational to even change people's life. And the 3 visions below is what the teams are doing, and we want to get in the future a window to discover, a canvas to create, and a bridge to connect. And we will have respective products or features to tie back to these 3 visions we want to achieve. So here is another example. I wouldn't roll the video. It's Zach King. You probably know him pretty well. He's famous in the community. And this is actually the most viewed video on TikTok. 2.2 billion. Wow. Imagine that. 2.2 billion. And it's all start with a creative idea. And at the moment, bring you the joy. So, in conclusion, if we break this down together, TikTok, the formula is the algorithm trying to promote. It becomes an entertainment platform. I think this is the right positioning of where we want to be. But we happen to be a social network. And we put all the keywords we just shared together. You look at it. This is exactly what are the behavior, the videos we want to promote. So I hope this gives you a quick understanding and a little bit insight tips of how our algorithm works. And now what? If you know this, how this is going to help you and empower greater content that speak to the TikTok users and get picked up and get viral. I guess that's what you're interested in. So we move to the next stage is, I'm sharing this in the TikTok's code of content. The 6 tips that how it's going to make you to content's really helpful. So content creation, like the creator I've just shared, is really challenging and difficult. It's a combination of art and science. I will do the science part, and I will leave the art part to you. So, 3 interest of time, I'll only cover 3 of them. The first one, TikTok first. In the past, we have talked to many creators and brands. What they are trying to do is, they have just port whatever contents they have on other platforms and upload it on TikTok, and wish that it will reach to new users and get viral. But unfortunately, we look in the past, this strategy is not really working, because our platform is speaking a very language, have very different language and very different DNA as others. So if you want to thrive on TikTok, you need to think of TikTok first. Thinking of the TikTok first before, during your content productions, which means you need to think of these videos to be creative and to try to think of authentic and entertaining, just now we talk about, and also think of those ideas that really feature into this. In the past, there was something was really popular on TikTok, which is the transition. So this is a quick example of how you transition and get people inspired to look into it. So this is tip number 1, think TikTok creative. Think TikTok first. Second, storytelling. I will let the video talk for itself.
Would you watch a 10-minute TikTok?
No.
This is the shape of traditional storytelling. This, right here. It starts with lingering action, climax, conclusion. And that's generally every story ever. But with TikTok and shorter attention spans, this is the new story shape. It starts with a climax, lingering action, conclusion. So would you watch a 10-minute TikTok? Well, that depends on if you can hold people's attention, not for...
Alright, so I think he explains pretty well that the storytelling on TikTok is really different from the rest. You need to start from the climax. You need to get your attention up first. So if you look at it, the structure, the storytelling on TikTok is so different from the rest. It starts with the hook, which just now we talked about. It's the first 3 seconds. Can you attention grab the users and make them interested? And if you want to learn how to use the hook, look up the video. Indeed, Paris Hilton really did a 10-minute video on TikTok for Hotel Hilton. And next is the body, how I'm going to fill the features and reward their attention. And last is the close, which is the call to action. And everything in TikTok, we love numbers and stats. We are going to use stats to back this up. If you can look at it, the first 3 seconds is going to make or break the deal for people to stay on the video, continue to watch. And it's really important for the first 6 seconds, you bring your message out, what branding message you want to bring out, and keep people to remember you, because we have done the research, 80 to 90% of the awareness and the recall of the video happens in the 6 seconds. So if you know this, do you realize how important the first 3 seconds and 6 seconds are important to your TikTok videos? And the last one I want to quickly share is the trends. On TikTok, we always have different trends, the nano trends, the micro trends, and the micro trends. This is one of the videos is happening. This is... Okay, so if you look into this, all these little trends actually forms up our contents. So if you have this, I wish you can take a picture, look into how you're going to use this to formulate your content strategy. The nano trends probably last a few days or weeks. It will just give you some of these news checking. For example, in the past, can we skip to the good part? That one lasts a few weeks for people to actually do a transition to the destination. And some of the nano trends will last longer to become the micro trends. These micro trends will last about months or years. Things, for example, pack with me. People will continue to learn this, and the POV trends, those will be the ones that be continually to feature and watch on TikTok. And the last one is the micro trends, which is shaping the culture and can last for years. So look into this. Think about your content strategy. When you are forming the videos, maybe you want to split of this. Some of these macros become your evergreen contents, and some of the micro and nanos will become your seasonal contents. So this is the 3 of the 6 videos. Tips I want to share. I want to share the rest of it, but if you're interested, you can stay connected with me after this. I can share the full deck with you. And the last, which is the most exciting part, is we know the algorithm, we know how to create good content. How are we going to make this content work for us? Means we get rewarded for the contents we have. So many of you probably already know the TikTok collaborations, the ways to monetize on TikTok, the creator rewards program, the TikTok live virtual goods, and also subscriptions. I'm going to be honest, these programs are still in the build stage. It's not that mature yet, especially in this part of the world. We haven't been so mature to reward everyone yet. But please stay tuned. The team is looking closely into this. How we are going to build a stronger creator community. I believe you know that we have billions of creator funds in such programs to fund them. But in the more practical and immediate side, which is the brands collaborations, we have a creator marketplace. You actually can take assignments or tasks for content production and get rewarded. The brand partnerships, such as the ones that are working with Klook, just now Marcus have shared in details. And the last one is the affiliate marketing. We have the local services team who is actually coming up with such products. So for example, on this side, you actually can see, if you go into the videos to look at Hong Kong Disneyland, just now Boffer also shared in terms of Disney Plus. If you have this, you do a video feature it, once you get converted with your referral code, you will get rewarded for such videos. Alright, so this brings to the end of the presentation. I hope you find these videos really, sharing is insightful and helpful to you. But I also want to say that my dream is to become a creator in the future. For now, I only can do you the science part. I also want to put this into the practice. Can I walk the talk to create a video that pick up by the TikTok algorithm to become viral? I also want to be part of it. So may I get your help? I'm going to shoot a video on the stage. I'm going to make a TikTok afterwards. And my second career to become a creator is really on you. So my storyline goes like this. I have no audience, but I focus on creating great content, insightful contents. And TikTok really rewards that. And now I'm going to shoot a video and you are my audience. Does that sound good? Yes. Okay, so please do me a favor. Really, my career is on your hands. Please stand up. When I count to 1, 2, 3, can you cheer up and wave to me? And I want to let you know that if you do good content, TikTok will reward you. Alright? Can we do 1, 2, 3? Let's stand up. And I have my camera with me. Alright, it's on recording. I had a pre-recording at the rehearsal, so now I'm going to do this, okay? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Alright, thank you very much. Please add me on TikTok. I'm going to post this. My success matrix is 100 likes, so please help me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Izan, Zan, once again, and you just gained 130 new followers. Alright, so we're gonna look forward to that TikTok. Thank you once again, and I hope that helped you guys understand how to win in TikTok better. And now, let's move on to Meta. Who among, yes, question? Can we accept some questions? Do you have a question? Yeah. Okay, one question. Here we go. Yes. I think we can hear you.
Okay, so this is directed to some people from TikTok. So basically, as content creators, we use our videos to promote our codes, right? So my question is to the it's off
I just shout. Hello.
Mic test 1, 2, 3. Welcome.
Anyway, okay, my question again is relating to like adding codes to our videos. So basically, we use our videos on TikTok to promote our club codes, right? So my question is, does putting our club codes affect the engagement that we're getting? Because sometimes I myself observe that whenever I put my club codes on my videos, it gets less engagement compared to my videos that are not, or that I didn't include my club codes. So again, does including my club codes affect the engagement of my videos on TikTok? Thank you.
That's a very good question. I know it's everyone very concerned about. What I can share with you is, very unfortunately, it does. That's the.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Klook. It was nice working with you guys. I'm out. Just kidding.
But don't worry about it. We're actually thinking of ways how we can make things a little bit more practical for us, because even within TikTok, we have two sides of it, which is the user side, which is the monetization side. So from the user side, we're trying to make sure the videos are engaging and organic. Nobody wants to come to a platform. Everything is actually promoting something. It becomes less engaging, less authentic. So TikTok is actually trying to strike a good balance. When people come here, they have a good experience. But when they really find this content is exciting and they want to convert, they have a way to convert it. So I hope you can see things from both angles. So we are actually actively talking to the team internally. How can we make sure such promo codes or promotions are actually get more featured? So I think we are trying to make stride on that. And maybe we can follow up offline. Let me think of how we can better to help embed codes on TikTok. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. And I think the most important thing there, we go back to what he shared. It's really about the content, no? If it's interesting enough, if it's creative enough, then it won't matter. It's still gonna work and people will still watch it. So now, we move on to another speaker for today, which I'm sure you guys are also interested with. Who among you guys use Meta here? Facebook, Instagram? Yes, I see a number as well. So now I'd like to call on Alina Lai, Head of Global Partnership for Greater China Region, Meta. Alena currently leads the Global Partnerships team for Greater China and Meta, where she and her team work with the most influential creators and media organizations, providing them with resources, support, and opportunities to grow their presence and success on Meta platforms, including Instagram, Facebook, and Threads. So join me in welcoming Alena Lai.
Hello everyone, hello from Meta. I wish they had swapped my session with Ethan's session. That was a tough act to follow, but I'll try my best. It's great to see the show of hands of creators that are on Meta's platforms. So hopefully this presentation will share something useful with all of you guys. So I'm Elena, and I'm the head of Global Partnerships for Greater China. But we have a lot of things to talk about today, so I won't spend too much time on myself. We have a packed agenda. I think first I want to talk a bit about trends, things that are happening across Meta. Then I think this will be super relevant for most of you, what's happening on Instagram and especially on Reels. And then I want to end off with a short introduction on Threads. And it was really great to come in today and see everyone here, and especially being able to join in the panel session as well, because it was so insightful to hear the panelists talk, and I feel like they took the script out of my presentation today as well. So later as we go through, I'll draw some of the parts that really resonated with me today. Okay, so going into trends. This is what we just announced in our latest Q2 earnings report. Currently, we have close to 3.3 billion people that are using one of our services and apps on a daily basis. So what that means is, out of the world population, about 40% of people are using at least one of our apps every day. So our apps, of course, includes Facebook, Messenger, WhatsApp, Instagram, Threads, and of course Quest and everything else. Earlier during the panel spoke about kind of the new things that's happening. AI, is it going to be a competitor for us? Should we be fearful of it? And I really love Evelyn's response to that, to say that, hey, maybe we should look at it as a companion to help us become more creative instead. And how can AI tools actually help us as creators to be able to engage with more of our audiences? So I want to share a bit about AI because, as you might know, that's really one very important pillar for Meta. So we're working very hard at increasing how AI is able to recommend your content to audiences that will most engage with them. So if you look at AI systems, currently we're constantly increasing the amount of AI recommended content on Meta, because what that means is AI is a better predictor of what users' content preferences would be, and that means it will increase creators' content viewership and engagement as well. Now we've launched Meta AI, which is our AI assistant. Anyone has used it so far, or at least seen it on our apps? Yes, I see, small hands coming up. Okay, if you haven't, try it out, because as you know, like all AI assistants, it's really useful in helping you get more information. You have anything that you don't know, you can always ask it. We're also increasing the creativity tools that we built into Meta AI. So this might not be launched in all markets and all languages yet, but if you see some of the examples here, you can actually upload a picture of yourself. You can ask Meta AI to imagine yourself as an astronaut traveling in space. And you'll get very nice images based on that, which you can use for your content, etc. Now, another thing that we've launched is also AI Studio. From Meta, our vision is that AI doesn't need to be just a single voice. Everyone can actually have the power to create your own AI and an AI assistant that represents you. So we've launched AI Studio, which is a place for people to actually create, share, and discover AIs to chat with. What that means for creators is, as creators, I'm sure you want to be able to respond to every DM that you receive, be able to respond to every comment that you receive on your content, but you only have so many hours in a day. You want to spend that time on creativity and churning out great content. What this means in the future is you can create your own AI assistant that can help you to reply to some of the DMs and reply to some of the responses on your content and increase engagement with your audiences. Now on to wearables. Of course, there's Quest, which is our mixed reality device here. The first thing that people think about when we talk about Quest is, of course, gaming. But I think increasingly, because of increased functionality and increased capabilities, people are increasingly using it for fitness, computing, etc. So there's a lot more applications and usages that's going to come up, for instance, VR concerts, etc. So definitely watch out for this space. We've also launched, of course, a Ray-Ban Meta glasses. So this is where you can actually put a pair of glasses, you can do video calling, you can share your perspectives on a video call. We've also added AI features into Meta glasses. So if you're wearing it, as travel creators, maybe you're in a new country, you saw this very interesting architecture in front of you and you're wondering what it is, ask your Ray-Ban glasses what it is and you will tell you the answer. What that also means is when you're creating content, you're traveling, you don't want to fiddle with your phone and your devices. This provides a hands-free way to kind of record what you're seeing and create content immediately. So to better articulate what that means, we've got a video here. Can we play the sound on the video?
Hey Meta, play some music.
Hey Meta, look and translate this.
Send a voice message to Laura on WhatsApp.
Just checking on you. Just hurry back when you can.
You guys cooking?
Say hi to Mom. Hey y'all, guess where we're at? Meta, take a video.
Hey Meta, how many tablespoons are in a cup?
Hey Meta, look and tell me what kind of butterfly that is.
Yes sir, I'm done.
Okay, I hope that gives you a better understanding of what Meta Ray-Bans are. And again, not all the functionalities and tools that I explained earlier are available yet in every market and every language. We are working very hard to push that out as much as we can. But hopefully these are some things that you can look forward to in the future as you think about content creation. So next, let me talk about Instagram and Reels. So Instagram, hopefully everyone's familiar and are producing content on Instagram, but really what Instagram is focused on doing is be whatever definition of success means to you. It could be establishing my presence, growing my fan base, driving social impact, etc., etc. From Instagram, we want to be there to help you achieve that success. And over here, you can see that actually in terms of creators' influence on Instagram, it goes beyond just content creation. It goes beyond consuming content. It actually goes into purchasing preferences of consumers as well. I won't go into every stat and details here, but you can see here, for instance, in the middle part, 71% of audiences that are surveyed within a few days of seeing creator content on Meta 71% of consumers will make a purchase. So again, that shows that the influence of creators on our platforms is really high, and that's why a lot of creators continue to want to establish a very strong and loyal fan base on our platforms. So on Instagram, we have a range of different content formats, tools, functionalities that you can use so that you can achieve, those success that we spoke about earlier. I think a lot of these might be quite familiar with you guys. So feed, stories, live, I won't go into explaining those, but I want to talk a bit about channels and then move on to the most interesting part on Reels. So broadcast channels. Broadcast channels is a relatively new functionality. Don't know how many of you have heard of it, or maybe you started one, hopefully yourself. But it is a public one-to-many messaging tool that allows you to connect more directly with your followers. So if you've already built a strong following on Instagram, this is an area where you can actually deepen your engagement with them, and especially with your most loyal followers. And over here, earlier there was a question about QR codes and links and whether we can put it somewhere. So actually a lot of creators we've observed do like to put it on broadcast channels because that's the most direct way of really reaching out to the most loyal audiences, and there's no penalization if you put links and QR codes on channels. Okay, so most effective way to grow on Instagram. Again, we spoke about all the definitions of success, and if someone's definition is really to increase your fan base, increase the number of followers on Instagram. Do you guys know what is the most important content format that you should be producing? Yes, videos, Reels. Again, really resonated with Marcus earlier, who said that a video paints 1 million words, and a video with your personal branding paints 1 billion words. So actually, the most effective way to grow on Instagram is to create engaging Reels. We are seeing especially strong growth in videos and particularly on Reels. So you can see here that majority of time spent on both Instagram and Facebook is now on video. And on Instagram, 50% of time spent, total time spent from everyone, all worldwide audiences, is actually on Reels. So this is the most engaging format that we have on Instagram. And definitely, if you're looking to distribute your content to non-followers, grow your influence, Reels is something that you definitely should be thinking more about. So if we look at Reels, why is there such a strong trend towards Reels? Why are people using Reels so much? I think with all short form content, the top motivations are very similar, which is people just want to be entertained. They're very bored, they want some entertainment, they want to lighten up their lives. But actually, what we're seeing that is different on Instagram versus other platforms is 85% of people that we have surveyed said that after watching Reels from a creator that they have not followed, they actually take that follow-up step to follow that account. So Instagram is not a platform where people see a viral video, they engage with it just then and then. They actually take the next step to actually follow the account. So which is why we say that Reels, especially if you're thinking about growing your influence, is really important. So is there a formula to creating a most viral Reel? Unfortunately, there isn't a black and white formula, but here I've listed out some of the most important factors. Our algorithm actually takes in hundreds, thousands of different signals, and so it won't be possible to articulate everything here. But what's interesting to note is that for every part of the Instagram app and for every content piece, it uses its own algorithm. So for a Reel, what is the most important signal to create a viral Reel? One is actually the activity of the user. So this is where content preferences come in, right? For your viewer, if they've engaged with a lot of travel content in the past, they love seeing travel content, naturally our algorithm knows that travel content is something that would engage this user, and so we will feed more of the travel content. Secondly, someone's content, so the viewer's history of interacting with the creator. You know, in the past interaction, if this user has always been interacting with content from this creator, there's meaningful conversations and comments on this creator's content, the algorithm picks that up as well, and there's a higher chance that the content from the same creator will be distributed to the user. And then third is information about the reel. It's a reel using a trending audio, and which is why using audio from the audio library and the trending audio is really important for reels. Are there a lot of comments? You know, are a lot of people interacting with this reel in particular? Because through the algorithm, this shows that this reel is engaging, and there is a chance that this user will want to interact with it as well. And then lastly, information about the creator himself. Obviously, the creator, if this creator has a history of violating community standards, etc., that will, there's a higher percentage of chance that the content won't be promoted as much. But so it's important to just make sure that you adhere to the community standards on our platforms. So with that in mind, what are the do's and don'ts of creating a reel? Okay, things that can help you to create a reel. Focus on driving authenticity, being uniquely you, as Jax mentioned so much just now during the panel session. You know, people love to see an authentic person on our platforms, you know, because they feel that they can relate to you, they resonate with you. So it's important to have authenticity and authentic content. Now second, make sure your content is relatable to drive engagement and reshares. You know, it's something that resonates, something that's maybe a bit more humorous, people can resonate with, they can see themselves in that situation as well. Yes, you've got yourself, you know, a plus in terms of the journey towards virality. This is a part that has been mentioned before as well. The first 3 seconds is really important because especially if you're thinking of a reel and you're trying to appeal to people that haven't followed you yet, people are scrolling through the feed. And it's really that first couple of seconds that make people think, hey, should I stop my thumb scrolling and actually click into this reel and take a look at what it is? So make sure there's a hook in the first 3 seconds to pull people in. Next one is inspiring people to connect. Again, on our platform, meaningful conversations, connection, engagement is really important for us because it means that people want to engage with your content. So think about replying to people, you know, if there are interesting comments on your content, reply to them, keep that conversation going. Upload the highest resolution possible, vertical 9:16 content. I think I don't need to elaborate further into this. Then very quickly, what should you not do? Non-recommendable content, you know, content that again violates our recommendation guidelines, violates our community standards, no, big no. Engagement bait, no. Reels over 90 seconds. So this is interesting, but you know, people's attention span is short, and if you can tell a good story within 90 seconds, actually that captivates people's attention. So in general,